Game of the day. Spidy400 versus Wealthytuna. Eagle versus Kindle.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from AWBW, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today we are on the hard sell. This is a double base airport and comm tower supported matchup. We have ourselves a Wealthytuna versus a Spidy400. Spidy400 has been featured on the channel many times. I like Spidey. He's one of the moderators in AWBW in the Discord and on site, I believe, too. So, fantastic guy. Love me some Spidy400. Wealthytuna has been a character of sorts in AWBW Discord. The people are not quite sure who it is. Now, many speculate that it is an alt of sorts. Nobody knows whose alt it is, but it's either an alt or a very gifted newcomer. Either way, folks, we're going to have ourselves a game here. Now, when we take a look at this map, this is a mirrored map down the center with no real strong side or weak side, but I would consider this probably a strong side and consider this a weak side. However, you never know what's going to happen, folks. Now, we have 3 lanes of attack for this one, so units are going to be able to stockpile in all 3 of these areas right here. But you do have to sort of pick an area that you are going to attack fully. Now, the mountains in this map make it very difficult to actually hit the center of the map. You are forced to follow along this line here and then go here, or take the alternative route and attack this area here. With this base right here, you are able to go either forward or go this route here. So this map is a little bit of a puzzle when you take a look at it, but when things start rolling, folks, I think we are going to figure it out pretty quickly. Now, Kindle versus Eagle is a very interesting matchup. For those of you that don't know, Kindle has been boosted a tier higher with her recent rework. So she's in the same tier as Eagle and Olaf and Max and all those fun folks, which is a fantastic thing for our good boy Andy. Andy lovers rejoice. We no longer have to face the Kindle in tier 3. Without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. Bah, 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 bah. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field. Number 1 priority in AWBW. Number 2 priority in AWBW. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action, folks. Now, we're going to do one tiny little change to this whole thing, folks. We are just going to make sure these guys are facing the opposite direction, so that sometimes they'll be facing each other, sometimes they won't. Somebody's going to complain in the comments no matter what. But that is okay, because I am always looking to improve. And every single time somebody mentions something in the comments, I try to adapt it to my editing style. Make sure that everything works out good for you all. Alrighty, folks. Day 3. Infantry are flowing, folks. Now, I do sort of favor Kindle, at least in the early game here. Very close matchup. Tight quarters in this one. Kindle is going to be able to grab those cities and park firmly in the center of the map, which is going to give her a little bit of an edge over Eagle, that is. Also, she might even be able to get 2 Urban Blights out before Eagle gets a Lightning Strike. That is also a possibility, which could drastically affect Eagle's performance mid-game. Alright, airport is being captured over here by Eagle, and second tank on the field. Now, Wealthytuna busts out the tank out of the bottom corner property, which is a little bit of a different strategy here, but I think it's a very good strategy. Going for a full push over onto the airport side of the map here. But Spidy400 decides to park the tank on a city, eliminating the chance of Wealthytuna to use that property to our advantage. And we have an infantry strike, folks, and an infantry clear. Beautiful move right there. Anti-air on the field. Got to get the anti-air on the field very, very quickly on this one, because this, being it a base light airport matchup, you know that there are going to be battlecopters on the field, especially Fighting Eagle, folks. Battlecopter is going to be appearing all over the map. As you can see here, there's a battlecopter. It's on the field, ready to go. Wealthytuna's turn. Also another tank, going for some more captures. Wealthytuna has a little bit more of a defensive push right now, but I am liking the push indeed. They've already denied a comm tower, which is pretty big. And anti-air is in a great spot here. Tank could, or battlecopter could potentially push up and attack tank, but it is going to result in an anti-air strike, so it's gonna be pretty bad. Pretty bad for the old tank, or for the battlecopter. Yeah, for the battlecopter. It'd be bad for the battlecopter. Would be bad for the tank too, if it attacked. But tank for a battlecopter trade is good. It's good in my opinion, folks. Alright, let's see what Spidey decides to do with this battlecopter, because I'm very curious. Looks like the battlecopter is going to be able to easily attack some of these infantry over here, even be able to push further in the mid, which could lead the anti-air to go over here. So we'll see. Let's see what happens with this one, folks. Infantry going down and taking out a 6 HP infantry. We got a strike on the anti-air. And then this is an interesting thing right here, because battlecopter could actually technically take an attack on the anti-air. Wouldn't necessarily be a very good attack, but 27 to 35% damage. It wouldn't be too bad. Plus, if you bust out another battlecopter, it would leave you in a fairly decent position, like air unit wise, in order to start winning this front. Could bring some more tanks over, but doing that also might result in Kindle being able to get an urban blight fairly soon. So that is something to consider. One of these battlecopters is going down though, folks. Now imagine for a moment though that this infantry was left alive and the battlecopter attacked the anti-air instead. Sounds wild, but personally, being a chaotic good character in Advance Wars, I think I would have probably gone and done that move. But that's just me, folks. Anti-air does not push into attacking the battlecopter because that would result in the loss of the anti-air. So pretty smart to bring it back. 8 HP anti-air is going to be able to one-shot the battlecopters, no problem. So if these battlecopters do push in, one of them is doomed. Interrupting the capture of the comm tower. Very interesting. Alright, let's watch one of these battlecopters explode, because we know what's going to happen, folks. Spidey going in for a nice little capture over here. Not necessarily going to work out in his favor, though, because once Urban Blight hits, this guy's going to be down to 7. There's going to be a big attack that's going to happen. But having the units in this area right here is very, very strong. It kind of stops your opponent from being able to push the vehicles out here, so I do like that indeed. But Wealthytuna is going to have a very good turn here. There goes one battlecopter already, and the Urban Blight has been activated. And a battlecopter is on the field. 2 mechs on the field as well. 18 units over here from Wealthytuna. 14 for Spidy400. Now, Spidy400 is a fighter, folks. He is an absolute fighter. He will not give up unless he knows that the game is over. So he is going to continue fighting. And honestly, one good lightning strike could make the difference in this game. Especially it being a very, very close battle. You get a solid lightning strike, folks, and things are working out for you. Now, it is day 12. Spidey retreats the infantry, takes a shot on the anti-air, brings the battlecopter forward. That is in range of an anti-air. But over on the right-hand side of the map here, we can see we have a 1-2 attack right here, which actually gets a KO. So maybe that tank took a little bit of chip damage along the way. Maybe we just got a really lucky roll. But either way, that tank is gone. See you later. Boom, anti-air occupies the city. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. Eliminating a Kindle tank on a city is probably one of the greatest guilty pleasures that you can have in Advanced Wars by Web. So we love to see it. Another anti-air on the field here. Another battlecopter taken out. And it looks like Wealthytuna just brings the tanks back. Does not actually push up any farther with those guys. Oh, you know what? Earlier in the map, I might have said that Wealthytuna denied the comm tower, but it was actually Spidy400 that denied the comm tower. By the looks of it here. So, yes. Important thing to note, folks. But this is where things get absolutely dangerous. Because now Spidy400 is starting to build up a tank army, build up a battlecopter army, but is also less than 3 bars away from a lightning strike. Now, it is pretty easy to acquire a lightning strike if you are, let's say, 1 to 2 bars. But 3 bars, it is a little bit more difficult, but it's not impossible, folks. It definitely can happen. It's not going to happen right away, but it will happen eventually. Day 15, we got another Urban Blight and a one-shot on a tank. Now, this is where we start to realize that Wealthytuna is definitely a very strong player. Now, look at the position from Wealthytuna, staying very far out of range of a lot of these tanks. So the initial movement from a lightning strike would not actually really do a whole lot of damage. The second movement will be able to attack you, but your counterattack will be fantastic. So I very much am enjoying the position from Wealthytuna at the moment. You just gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for the lightning strikes, folks, because it is gonna be big. But will it be big enough to end Wealthytuna? That is the real question. All right, just taking a few micro engagements here, and then pass and turn. Now, this is the point where a lightning strike can happen. Without a doubt, a lightning strike could happen right now. A little bit of yeet, and it can happen. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. Stay on the edge of your seats, folks, because next turn is the lightning strike turn. As we can see here, Wealthytuna taking advantage of a overextended position, brings all of their forces on the left-hand side of the map forward, but defends on the right-hand side of the map here. Let's see what Spidey can pull out from this lightning strike turn. Got a couple attacks here. Does find a way to actually chip through the wall right here, getting a few more attacks. And then bust out the lightning strike, folks. Here we go. Let's see what he manages to do with this one. Gets the clear on the city. Beautiful. Attacks the battlecopter in a very, very interesting position here, because now one of those anti-airs are going to have to stay back. But continues to push. Takes out one anti-air. Takes out many, many tanks. Now that was a great lightning strike, folks. Fantastic lightning strike. We took Wealthytuna's overall unit count down to 16. But Wealthytuna has a full bar. That's going to be 2 Urban Blights back to back. So we can see here, one of them has already interrupted a capture. And infantry or anti-air clears the infantry. And then 2 mechs in the front line. This is what I'm talking about, folks. Ooh, 90% damage. The only reason that didn't clear is because of the co-power defense, folks. If it wasn't for that co-power defense, that tank would have been a goner. Was that an infantry sacrifice at the end of the turn? Or was that a first attack from Spidey? Infantry sacrifice. Okay, here we go. Spidey, 20 units now. Unit value went from around 100k down to 65,900 this turn. Wealthytuna, absolute savage with the counterattack here. But, like I said, Spidey's a fighter. He's not going to let that deter him. He's going to keep going. Actually putting up a very good fight over on the Eastern Front as well. Let's see if it's enough. Let's see if it's enough. He's at 22 units now to 14. That unit disparity from the beginning has flipped. Because Eagle is a baller. He's an absolute baller. Now, are we going to have an Urban Blight this turn? Yes, we are, folks. We are going to have an Urban Blight. Absolutely brutal. Wealthytuna is actually ahead by 1,000 funds right now. One whole property. So he definitely does not want a property to be flipped. Because Spidey has a comm tower. And Wealthytuna does not. So this is actually an even game. So anybody that captures a property next is going to be ahead. Spidey joins the infantry together. Oh my god. So, co-power bar is gone. Lightning Strike is on the way. Wealthytuna has 2 problems right now. And both of them are cities that are being captured. Let's see if he can deny both of those captures. Sacks mech into tank, clears the infantry, and then attacks the tank from the city. Kindle lovers unite. We got more city attacks, folks. Brutal. Spidey's still with 11 minutes on the clock, playing as Eagle as well, which is a very strong position to be in, especially this late in the game. Lots of Eagle players at this point would have absolutely no time. Not Spidey. Not Spidy400, folks. He is a quick fella. Absolutely quick fella. Wealthytuna, on the other hand, no time. Absolutely no time to play with. Playing on increments. So, definitely spent a long time planning out some of those early moves. Now, lots of people will say that characters like Von Bolt and Eagle are difficult to play in live. But equally so, it is difficult to play against them in live because you also have to spend a lot of time thinking about what they can do. You have to plan around Ex Machinas. You have to plan around lightning strikes, which takes time, which siphons it away from you, from your overall time pool. You gotta watch out for that stuff, folks. Advanced Wars is a game of action and reaction, and if you don't act or react fast enough, you're gonna be having a bad time. Comm towers being flipped, folks. Oh, interesting. Very interesting indeed. There is only 1 of 2 units right now that can stop this capture. Luckily, this tank is in position to interrupt the capture. Plus, there could be a battlecopter snipe. However, that would be 2 vehicles that could potentially be lost next turn. Let's see what happens here. Alright, we got the interrupt, folks. And Spidey not pushing up. Not pushing up on the western front. Gonna hold back for a little bit. Anti-air clear, tank clear, join cap on the flippin' comm tower, folks. Oh, and a block. Yeah, that comm tower is getting flipped, folks. That is going directly into the possession of the Wealthytuna. Oh, maybe not, because there is a double hit right here, but it's not enough to clear the infantry, folks. This infantry right here, what an absolute Chad infantry, surviving. This guy's a survivor. That's who he is. Now, this position here opens up a lot of attacks over here from Wealthytuna. Spidey also going for a flip over on the western front, though. See if this one goes through or not. Unfortunately, Wealthytuna forced to let go of the comm tower capture, but because of that, puts himself in a very, very good position overall. Got lots of units over on the western front, or eastern front. Western front, it's looking pretty good too, but the unit count overall is even. Let's see if Spidey is going to use Lightning Strike this turn or not. He could potentially bust out a not as big of a Lightning Strike as he's done in the past here, but definitely going to be a good Lightning Strike if he can bust out the units. All he needs to do is just get a good unit count, and then things are going to work out for him. Ooh, another Urban Blight. And this one, this one allows him to first strike so many tanks on the front lines. That is going to hurt the Lightning Strike potential so much here. 117,000 value to 58,000 value now. Yeah, we're holding on to that Lightning Strike. Gotta hold on to that Lightning Strike for dear life at this point, folks. Oh, 2 HP tank sacrifice into the double hit, but does not get the clear. Wow. Crazy. Actually, technically 5 anti-airs on the field from Kindle now. The Wealthytuna, definitely a enjoyer of anti-airs. And I mean, if you're fighting Eagle, why not? Because you need to get those anti-airs on the field, folks. Gotta be dealing with those air units somehow. Oh, and we have a airport block. We have an airport block, but we have no infantry in position to capture. Oh, and it's day 26, folks. This infantry right here, day 27, day 28, day 29, day 30. If this infantry doesn't get interrupted, it can get the comm tower. If it doesn't get interrupted. That is the big if here. But Wealthytuna could potentially also get these 2 properties here. Let's see what happens. I'm very curious to see what the conclusion of this battle is going to be, folks, because day 26, an Eagle is holding on to Lightning Strike. At this point, folks, all he really has to do is just deny properties. That's it. If he can get the denial of properties, he could potentially win. Or not win, but at least tie. Pretty much all that he can hope for at this point is a tie. Oh, and he is going in. This is going to be a Lightning Strike turn. Folks, here we go. The Lightning Strike is popped. Bust out the anti-air as well. There we go. Target the infantry. Yep, that's all you got to do, folks. At this point, you target the infantry. You stop them from getting the caps. I think really all that he has to do is he has to injure the infantry that's coming right now. If he can injure this one infantry... Oh... Wealthytuna needs to clear that infantry. He needs to clear the... Oh, he didn't clear the infantry. Oh, boy. Day 28. Sack the infantry into the infantry. Boom. 8. That's it. That's it. I think that's all he needs to do. Bust out the APCs. Because it is day 29. It is not going to be possible to get a capture by day 30. Wow. Absolutely bonkers, folks. Absolutely bonkers. APC builds into the pipe runner. And just like that, the game is over. Look at this flipping field at the end. 5 APCs and just a flood of units over here from Wealthytuna. If Wealthytuna had destroyed this infantry, though, he destroys this infantry, he would have won the game, like without a doubt. Day 28. It was this move right here. Is there actually... Let me do it. Let's see. So he attacks this. This is a full block over here. So yeah, this guy just has to go down here and attack this. That's it. So I think at the end of the day, I don't know if this was necessarily planned or not, but I'm going to chalk it up to time, folks. That's all it was. It was just time. I think Wealthytuna probably could have easily spotted that, but maybe just decided to give him the draw anyways. It looked like these two players were talking a little bit in the chat. They were having a good time, having a nice friendly banter. So they might have just decided to give each other a draw because it was such a good game. Either way, hopefully you all enjoyed that one. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.